one thing is, before I condemn the computer, I have to unplug this connector too. Because if I unplug it and then I have this connected to positive and I touch this and it's still lit up, then I know it's not the computer.
Okay.
That means there's a short in the wiring.
Right.
So let's try and see if we can get this disconnected. Okay.
So you're going to touch now the pin.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Still grounded. So computer's good.
Wow. Okay.
So this wire somewhere down the line is grounded
Yep.
out to the frame or another ground wire.
Really? Okay.
That's the problem right there.
Interesting.
That should not be grounded at all times. And to prove my point, watch this. If we go to the ground over here
Yeah.
to another one, see? Even if I unplug it, see? It's not grounded out.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That's, now we have direction, it's just a matter of finding it.
Right. Okay.
So if we can find why this white and dark blue wire is grounded out, we'll have to trace it.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to trace it inside this thing here.
Yep.
We don't want to go crazy yet. We want to check the most easiest points, I guess.
What about running another wire?
You
like
could run
change
another wire.
that wire out somehow.
You could do that. You
And
could
just-
run another wire just to make
Because
it easier.
Yeah, because it might be hard
Instead
to
of trying to find
start
it.
finding it through the actual wire harness.
You'd have to rip into it to
Yeah,
find it.
I know. And that could be very time consuming.
It could.
I mean, it'd be much easier just running a separate wire.
Because see, but let me do this.
Yeah.
So I know that's grounded out.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing which is really, really weird.
Yeah.
That makes more sense, because if that's grounded out all the time,
Yeah.
that makes sense why white smoke's coming out the tailpipe, because the injector is staying on constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Instead of pulsating.
yeah,
like
instead
it
of
should.
pulsating, so it's overfilling the system.
Yeah.
So it all makes sense now.
Yep.
I never thought that
Wow.
it would all come together, but it all
Yeah.
makes sense now.
Yeah. So the mechanics shop basically
Condemned the computer.
Yeah, they condemned the computer, the
Yep.
previous mechanic, and that was just here recently. They
Yep.
wanted to get a second opinion
Yep.
from us. We don't like to condemn a computer just because someone says a
Yeah.
computer's bad. So
Exactly.
we like to do our own kind of testing,
Diagnosis.
just in case the computer is good. You don't
Yeah.
want to go replacing something like that if it's
It's-
perfectly okay.
It's definitely not the computer. We've
Yeah.
eliminated the computer.
Yeah. So that's
That
the main
wire
thing.
is grounded. That wire is a constant ground, which
Yep.
it should not be.
Yeah.
And
All right.
if that wire is a constant ground, that means
Mm-hmm.
that when you plug that up to that fuel injector is running
Yep.
the entire time.
Yeah. So the short's not in the fuel injector because the power in that ground is happening besides from that. It's not even connected to the fuel injector,
Exactly.
right? So it
Yep.
has to be somewhere between one connector butt thing and the other.
Yeah, see,
and the
this
plug.
is supposed to be a pulse
Uh-huh.
ground, this
Yeah.
white one,
Yeah.
and the green one, when you turn the key on,
Yeah.
you're supposed to, or let's just say when you start it,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to have power on the green wire and you're supposed to have a pulsed ground on the white wire.
Yep.
So instead, we have power on the green wire and we have a constant ground on the white wire, which means this injector is going to run constantly,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
give too much gas in that cylinder, and you're burning all that white stuff out the tailpipe.
Yeah.
So
And there's a lot of smoke coming out that back
it's a lot of smoke. That's why I told
yeah.
you, I was like, it's running rich.
Yeah.
Because I can smell it.
Yeah.
But I was like, but it's not adding up. But now it all adds up. It all makes sense.
Yep.
Once I figured out this had a constant ground on
Yeah.
it when I was trying to show you
Yeah.
something else, then I found that by accident.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing, I guess.
So,
All right. Well, we hope this helps someone.
yep.
So we're gonna.
So what I can do is,
Yeah.
it may not work unless it's plugged up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably can't. I was going to test up here, but what I did
Yep.
was I had
Yeah.
this plugged up
Yeah.
and it was pulsing.
Yeah.
The white wire, see I got T-pin right there?
Yep.
It was pulsing, but I noticed that it was getting like really bright and then really dim. And
Really?
you know what I mean? But it was pulsing though.
Yeah.
But I think that the reason why it's getting bright and dim is because it's got a ground somewhere
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that it shouldn't.
Yep.
And I have no idea.
Yep.
Because you got to think, it's from this wire, it goes here,
Mm-hmm.
goes here, it goes behind. It could be back there.
Right.
It could be rubbing up on the bolts.
Yeah.
on the back of that valve cover.
Yep. Could be.
Yep.
Alrighty. Okay, we'll wind this one up then. Cool.